Under the humming fluorescent lights of Gate 32 at Denver International Airport, the crowd moved like clockwork orderly, distracted, half lost in boarding calls and terminal announcements. Among them stood Commander Valerie James, her eyes hidden behind a pair of plain, military-issued sunglasses. She wasn't here for a flight, not in the usual sense. She was here for a mission, one no one expected her to take alone. Wrapped tightly in her right arm was a tri-folded American flag. Her left hand clutched the official paperwork authorizing her to escort the remains of Staff Sergeant Joshua Irons, her closest friend, her battlefield brother, the man who had thrown himself into gunfire so she could live back home to San Diego. Valerie, a black woman in full dress uniform, carried herself with a silent authority. But she could feel the stares, not from admiration, from disbelief, from judgment, from a place as old and corrosive as the country itself. A short man in a TSA uniform approached. He didn't make eye contact. "Ma'am, are you sure you're supposed to be here?" She turned her head slowly toward him. "I have clearance. I'm here to escort the body of a fallen soldier. Paperwork's in hand." He didn't look at the document. Instead, he peered past her shoulder, as if expecting someone more qualified. "You're military?" he said, like it was a joke. "I'm Commander James. U.S. Navy. 10 tours. Silver Star. Bronze Star. I'm not here to prove that to you." Still, he didn't budge. "You're going to have to wait while I verify this." "You do that," she replied calmly. But her jaw was tight. This wasn't the first time, and it wouldn't be the last. Across the terminal, people watched. Some looked away when she caught their gaze. Others whispered. A few even chuckled. As if the sight of a decorated black female officer performing this sacred duty was an elaborate charade. She moved to the special access lane. That's where it escalated. "Ma'am, that line's for military escorts," a gate agent said, raising her voice. "I am the escort. I need to see credentials." Valerie showed her badge, her military ID, her assignment orders. The agent stared long and hard, then smiled thinly. "We're going to have to call the supervisor." By now, passengers were watching openly, phones creeping out. Some pretended to film the surroundings but slowly panned to her. Valerie stood still, calm, collected. Her composure was armor. 10 minutes passed. 15. The body of Joshua Irons lay in a steel casket on the tarmac, waiting for her escort. Time was slipping. A white male supervisor in a blue blazer approached. "Let's get this resolved," he said, but didn't direct it at Valerie. He turned to the gate agent instead. "What seems to be the issue?" "She says she's the military escort, but her paperwork is in order." Valerie interrupted. The supervisor looked at her, then her uniform, then finally read the paperwork. His face shifted. "My apologies, Commander James. Please proceed." Valerie nodded once. She said nothing else, because what was there to say? As she moved toward the boarding gate, someone behind her muttered, "Bet she forged it." She stopped, slowly turned, and for the first time, removed her sunglasses. "I don't need your belief. I've served this country longer than you've probably held a job. But today's not about you, or me. It's about honoring a man who gave his life for people like you. Remember that." She didn't wait for a reply. The plane was cold. Too cold. She sat beside the flag-draped casket in silence. Eyes forward. Heart full. Her mind flickered back to Afghanistan. Dust. Blood. The sound of gunfire and the crushing silence that followed. Joshua's voice. "If I go first, promise me you'll take me home." She had promised. She would deliver. When the plane landed in San Diego, a full honor guard was waiting. She stepped off first. As the casket was carried down, the crowd at the terminal, some of whom had seen her humiliated just hours earlier, watched in stillness. A few saluted. Others stood with heads bowed. News cameras had gathered. Someone had tipped them off. By evening, footage of her confrontation in Denver had gone viral. Social media exploded. Commander Valerie James is the definition of dignity. America owes her more than an apology. She's everything they didn't expect and everything this country needs. By morning, the airport had issued a public apology. The gate agent and the TSA officer were placed under investigation. The supervisor privately reached out to apologize again. But none of it mattered to Valerie. She had done her duty, not for headlines, not for justice, but for a promise. The next day, she visited Joshua's mother. They sat on the porch together. Quiet. A soft wind in the trees. Valerie placed the folded flag in her lap. "He told me you were family." The woman whispered, "I still am." Valerie replied, and for the first time in days, she cried, not because of the airport, not because of the disrespect, but because she had kept her word. That was the only honor that mattered.